Hello there, my friends. Tim Lee Legacy Gaming Studio is we're in Flight Simulator today. Finished up one of my projects for the day, so I'm feeling a little free to relax for a minute. So we'll see how long this minute actually is as we're in Flight Simulator opening up NEOFLY. I'm gonna change the title of our YouTube channel here. Not change the title of our YouTube channel, but change the name of what our content is going to be today. Let's see here. Go live. Hopefully we are live. There we are. We're going to change the title of our video. This one is Longest Flight Yet. We're going to go KGTF 2. And then I got to figure out where we're going. We are going to KGPI. KGPI in NEOFLY. Okay. That way it makes sense for anyone who will give any kind of nerdy care about what we're doing. All right, let's talk about what we're doing today as we get all of our gear set up here. Here's my flight yoke that you can see. We're flying the Velocity 1 flight yoke. Please do not buy it unless you get it for an incredibly good price. It's not great. It will do a good job if you get it for the right price. With NEOFLY open, we're flying from Great Falls to KGPI. My headset is extra squeaky this morning. Time to relube it, I think. Okay, it's been a couple years, so it might be time to relube it up. So we're gonna go KGTF, which is Great Falls International, out of Montana. We're going to KGPI, Glacier Park in Kalispell. Usually this would be about a 4-hour drive. In real life. Now we do have 7 knots. Reasonable visibility at this moment. 9 nautical mile visibility. We do have a cloud layer. And we will be flying over the mountains, which...
Welcome back, Captain. It looks like the weather is perfect for flying.
In the Cessna 152...
Transporter from dispatch. It's a cargo mission today.
Yep.
When you check the payload in the flight plan, please release the parking brake to start.
Alright, so let's get NEOFLY up. So we need to load the
Transporter
plane down.
from dispatch. Loading cargo. Please stand by.
We have to load our plane down with 395 pounds of cargo. So whatever we weigh out here, I'm trying to do this, but we have issues. When I drag NEOFLY around, I'm not sure if it's my mouse's fault or if it's NEOFLY's fault, but here we are, KGTF, Cessna 152, and we need to put in 395 pounds. So maybe I'm not pressing hard enough with my mouse. Looks like I didn't put us in the parking area.
Cargo is loaded. You can start your mission.
Not a problem for me, though, frankly. Let's
You're
just
good
get
to
on
go.
get in
Contact
the
the
air.
tower for clearance.
So what we're going to do really quickly is we're going to go ready to fly, and before we take off, let's go right to our flight planner. Okay. And we're going to go aircraft, flight performance, mass and balance, and we're going to put my 200 pounds, which is being gentle, and then right behind me an additional 100. I think let's do 195. Is that the number I'm looking for? Yep, look at that, 395 pounds. Matched up perfectly. We are good to go. Now, we do have the EFB here where we'll be able to see our trajectory. We will be flying over these mountains, over the mountain ridge. There's definitely some storms there. We could cut through here. That may be a wiser move. That's just the mountains there, so we could also circle around. We might fly to KMSO and then go over there. We might need to do an alternate. I'm not sure how desperate I am to get myself in trouble. We are going to try to speed up some of these legs with sim rate. And we're going to find out as we go, but there is good money in this flight, so I would like to give it a go. I think it's 6,000 bucks that we are going to make with this. So, of course I want that. But the question is, can our little bird handle it? We're going to start by opening up our carb heat, because this little girl has shut off on us mid-flight many times now because of that very reason, which makes me very sad every single time. Usually I think it's carb heat. Sometimes she just shuts down for no reason whatsoever. So, we're going to go flaps 10 degrees. Throttle this girl up and take off the parking brake. We have not accessed any kind of ATC, so I'm not going to worry about it for taking out of Great Falls. Should, but I won't. What we will do, though, is when we come into Kalispell, we will, if we survive this trip, then we will worry about it once we get into Kalispell and get to Kalispell International. Okay, or Glacier International, I think is what it's actually called. Alright, trimming up for that nice, lovely, gentle takeoff. There we go.
Transporter, good flight.
Thank you. Now, the other nice thing is that we will be able to do a little bit of IFR, or ILS, is actually what we're really looking at here as we get ready to kick things off. So I'm going to enjoy doing a little bit of programming here before we really get in the air and really get on our way. So first things first, we're going to get the flaps up here. Plane feels a bit heavy, not surprised, because she is. As we're carrying my heavy torso. More importantly, we're also carrying an awful lot of computer equipment. Trying to level out this left kind of lean that this plane's doing. And we got a long flight ahead of us. Got to get over the mountains, a whole bunch of different stuff. I did not look at how long this flight is, but I do think it's about double our usual. So I think it's an understatement. So hopefully we can sim rate this out. But now that I know a little bit more about ILS, excuse me, I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of programming. And I'm hoping one of these days we'll be able to get an airplane that can autopilot. That way I don't have to worry about it. Looks like our ground 121, tower 124, center 127075. I'm trying to see what we can find for our ILS. Weather is at 30.24 where we're going. So setting our altimeter to 30.24. There you go. That's our air pressure. It's 41 degrees outside, so not too miserable as long as we stay somewhat low, but we'll keep an eye on the windows. Broken clouds. VFR flight right now with 8 nautical mile visibility. Runway 12 seems to be the runway that we'll come in on. It is an asphalt runway. It is the international airport, so that makes sense. Our frequencies, ground, tower, center, FSS, and Unicom. So none of these are... I didn't think any of these were ILS. I thought ILS sits in the 1500 range, but I can absolutely be wrong about that. So, as we're going along here, apparently I didn't bring up my flaps, so I'm just double checking this right now. Also double checking that we are en route. Looks like we are. very confused on what we're doing. Looks like we're going to come in on runway 2. When I pull up my map on it, well, not my map, but my frequencies, unless it's the FSS, which doesn't make sense to me because that's a 122, I'm making assumptions I probably shouldn't make. I think that's a fair assessment. So while we're at it here, I think Sky Vector has maps. So I'm going to go look over there really quick. Sky Vector. Yeah, Sky Vector flight planning. And we're going to go KGPI. And we're going to see if we can find ILS for KGPI, Glacier Park International. Alright, is this Glacier Park International? Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Kalispell 113.2. Looks like what it says here for 113.2. So let's try that out for giggles. So we're going to go nav 113.2. And we're going to swap. And hopefully we will see that come alive here in our nav once we have a connection. Channel 79 FCA, not sure what that means. See NOTAM supplement for Class D. Glacier Park International 125 ATIS. Okay, near longitude, latitude, but also not what we're looking for. Trying to see what other information there is here. Don't think we're going to find much more than we've found. I would assume at this point, even though we have switched over to that signal, we're probably still too far out to actually receive that signal, which is just a bit of a shame. But at the same time, it makes perfect sense because we got mountains ahead of us. We're going to be doing a lot to get to that area. So, we go back to our direction here. I do wish that the 152 had some sort of autopilot. It doesn't, as far as I can tell. I mean, even just to follow a steady course, like a heading lock, but I don't believe it has a heading lock. That would be lovely if it did. Let's do pilot heat, and okay. So those mountains out in the distance, we got to get over those. And we're going to attempt to do some sim rate, which in the past has proven very hazardous for my planes. So it's not a good thing to be doing that. Not only that, it's cheating. But we're doing it anyway. So let's go ahead and get this going here. So with us in the airplane, we're in trajectory. I'm looking for my EFB right now. So I'm going to tab my EFB up. Here it is. Boop. Restore. General. Look at my route. And it says we need to be going 213 degrees to get to our location. Is that correct? No. Pattern within 282, which is consistent with what I have here, basically going west. 25, 26, 27, 28, so around here. So almost west. Okay, well now I guess we're going to go ahead and try sim rating and see if we can speed this process up just a touch. It does get spicy when we do this, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Up, look at that. Now we have navigation for the runway, which is great. So it did pick up our ILS, which is fantastic. At this point, though, we now just get to dance around like crazy and hope that we can fly this pretty steadily. But as you can see, going at 4 times the speed that we would, there's an awful lot of course correction and a lot of love and care to fly this thing as well as we can without getting too far off course. Which, so far, easier said than done. But we are putting a pretty solid dent in our travel by doing this, so as sneaky as it is, it's worth it in my opinion. Alright, making my trim adjustments here. You can see how the plane just kind of throws itself up with those trim adjustments. It's an unfortunate situation. Now, as we get close to these mountains, we're going to be dealing with some pretty intense winds, and that does have me very, very concerned. Just seeing seeing what I have coming up here. I'm gonna try it just because I don't know what I'm walking into. Technically, I could fly above it. I'm not sure what my cloud floor is. I have a feeling that we're gonna get shot in the foot a little bit, but we're gonna find out here as we go. Pulling back on my mixture now, trying to get this mixed a little better. Really need to keep an eye as we are very quickly coming up on these mountains. I need to watch my airspeed especially. All right, right on top of these mountains now here in half a second. I have a very bad feeling about this. Okay. In a second here, I'm going to turn off our sim rate. There's level 3 of the sim rate instead of 4. Level 2 of our sim rate. So right now we're flying at double the speed as we approach these mountains. And we are cutting into one of our first cloud layers here. And I feel like we're a little low, so I'm going to work on trying to get us up here maybe to 10 or 12,000 feet. I need to learn more about finding out what the floor of our flight is. But we will basically be landing just on the other side of these mountains if we survive them. Here comes the winds to kick us around a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and sim rate back to 1. So now we're flying, if I check my clocks correctly. No. Let's try that again. Alright, now the clock on our plane says that we're flying at normal speed again, normal time. So we're not sim rating anymore at the moment. I'm trying to mix out what I can here. And we can also see up ahead that there absolutely is a bit of a storm ahead of us. So I'm going to kind of go around, I think. I'm really concerned about hitting something. And instead of walking right into this cloud front directly in front of me here, I can save myself a little bit of trouble with the storm if I take it to the corner. So we're going to go ahead and sim rate up again. Oh, my word. Okay, so this is my point exactly. The plane just got grabbed and thrown without my help. And if you need context on how fast we're going, you can take a look at our clock on the panel there, and you can see how quickly that second hand is moving. So what I'm trying to do at this point, wow, is there's this storm directly next to us, and it's taking up the majority of that part of the mountain. So if I can get past that part of the mountain, really, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we're hitting some rough legs. Let's come back here to, all right, looks like our clock says we're normal again. Yep, seconds look like they're actual seconds. So the sim rate's simply exaggerating everything we're doing. And so you gotta be kind of careful. We'll sim rate to 2 now. And I'm just flying in parallel with this storm front right here that you can see. And we still got a bunch of mountains to get over before we get to Kalispell, so this is still super dangerous. And we keep connecting and disconnecting from ILS. So if you look at nav 1, at certain moments it disappears, and other moments it reappears. So very interesting flight. We're right now like right on the edge of rain. If we don't see rain here, I would be highly surprised. But we are definitely fighting the leading edge of this storm. That's not really a leading edge because it's just the clouds sitting on the mountain peaks the way that you would expect, frankly. Okay, checking. No, not necessary, but okay. We're still sim rate 2, but we're going a lot smoother now, and that is because, once again, we're really on the skirt of this storm that's off to our left wing. Now, we're not out of the woods by any means, because up ahead here is another storm, and we will have to pass through that one. Now, technically, if I really wanted to, I could, and I probably will now that I see this, I can approach this storm and then circle around it on the right side. I think that would be a wise move. But we gotta get there first. Oh gosh. Let's get our nose up here. Once again, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, now we got problems. So sim rate down, sim rate down. Okay. I don't know if we're flying in time at the moment, but we've lost so much altitude. Nope, we're not climbing out of this. Okay, so we're circling. Nope, we're gonna crash. We're gonna crash. I don't understand why we're crashing. There is no reason to be crashing at 60 nautical miles other than a blast of wind. All right. Ugh. Trims always screw up. Okay, so now what do we got going on here? Oh, we're just falling into this. There is no getting out of this. Okay. No, just come on, baby. Nope, we're crashing again. No, I don't. That's not realistic. That's, I mean, yes, it's wonderful. But no, no. I can't do any. Oh my gosh, this is comically stupid. But it does look like Montana. Looks like somewhere I've been camping. So yes, that's not gonna work. Oh man. Oh boy. There's not much I can do about that. You hear the birds chirping? Let's see what we got. So there's my plane. And there is nothing I can do about this. I can't push this back. There's nothing I can do. I wish I had a way to... I don't know if there's a way to announce a an emergency procedure, because that's what we have going on here. Yeah, because there's nothing I can do. That's weird. Oh, is that a stick? Okay. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. This is a true situation. Oh, man. All right, we're going to restart our flight. I know it sucks, right? I'm feeling it too. Thankfully, NEOFLY doesn't dock you as much. It might dock you. I don't know if it does, but we'll restart the flight, reload the plane. Excuse me. And this time, focus on getting above the mountains, because this is basically what I expected. If I can figure out how high our cloud layer is, I think that would be another interesting test, this time to try and fly above it. Now, obviously, we have a lot of work ahead of us to get above those clouds, but I think that's the most realistic conclusion at this moment in time of what we actually need to do. So let's see, FB. I'm going to go, and I know you guys can't see it, it's off screen, but we're doing this. Checking here really quick. We're putting my 200 pounds in here, which the only reason I'm putting 200 pounds is because that's the max I can put in. I'm 231, so I would love to make up the difference, but whatever. And then I think we had 195 here. 195. 195. And we're going to load. I think this is super smart experience, though. I mean, because you just assume you can fly straight. You don't think about winds. You don't think about gusts. You don't think about mountain peaks and what they actually do. So there's a beauty and a reality to doing these simulations and learning on the go, because you just assume you can get away with things because it's Flight Simulator. But then you get smacked with that wind or whatever else, and thankfully the reward is you end up crashing. So it just keeps the severity severe. Now, when I take off here, I definitely need to get my carb heat open. Okay, and I'm gonna wiggle my trim because it's stupid. There we go. Okay. We're going west, young man. Okay. So let me get my carb pulled out here. There we are. That way the plane doesn't freeze to death. And then we're gonna trim out that right spin of the plane. Take care of that aileron roll that I got going on right now. Might actually be a rudder, but I haven't been able to get my rudder trim to work, unfortunately. Not yet, at least. Okay, so we got our flaps down still. So let's go ahead and get our nose up here a little bit. Gotta watch our airspeed. We're only 50 knots. So we're gonna be in trouble here pretty quickly. But let's go ahead and start turning west. And we're gonna see if getting above the clouds is actually going to help us or not. I really don't know. This is the reality of learning as you go. I mean, I've been playing Flight Simulator since I was 5, younger, 3, 4. I just remember Flight Simulator on my dad's green and black computer screen, like old vintage floppy disk computer, where you needed like 5 floppies to get it working, and there wasn't anything simulated about it other than keeping the weird arrow in alignment with the green, white ground and the black sky. I think that's what it was, or it was vice versa, I forget. Yeah, nasty stuff. I'm still trying to trim out this left roll that I've got here. I feel like I'm getting there, but where we are pointed west, I think we need to go a little bit to the right of west, but once again, the goal is to climb as high as we can, and look at our airspeed right now. We're basically about ready to land. If I were to dump my flaps right now in this very moment, we would have a severe problem. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt my nose forward. We are dropping, but we're dropping by such a small margin. All right, now we're going to go flaps up. We'll get some more airspeed out of this now. Not by much, but enough. Where now maybe we can kind of point our nose up just a tick. Now we're about 200 feet a minute. And climbing 300 feet, 400 feet. I mean, yes, it's going to be very, very difficult to make progress at this rate, but that is simply what we're going to have to do. And it may come down to the point where we might just have to do pirouettes. I don't know if that's the proper term or whatever. Just do circles around, climbing like a glider would to get over these mountain peaks in the distance. I am going to sim rate 2 right now. And we're going to tilt our nose up and really just watch our... I know I need to be heading towards those mountains, so I'm just pointed towards those mountains. I'm not going to change that. And right now, just watching my airspeed indicator mainly. That's the key thing. All right, flaps are now all the way up. I thought I already put them up, but maybe I put them down by accident. Okay, I'm going to zoom into my dash, that way I can focus on what I'm looking at here. I don't mind, if I have to climb at 50 to 60 knots, then I have to climb at 50 to 60 knots, that's fine. The question is, can I get up high enough? Because technically what we need to do is we need to be above the cloud base before we get to those mountains. Because the mountains kind of just sucked us in. That's what it felt like. Alright, sim rate 3. So right now we are climbing not quite 200, 300. I would love to see right about here, 500 feet per minute. But we're not even getting that. We're getting 200 feet per minute. We are at 5,200 feet at 50 knots. I mean, I'm wondering if the wind is heading our direction. But yeah, we're getting sliced pretty hard here. Now, once we get up higher, we got to change our mixture. I'm sure we'll get a mixture warning here soon enough. The question is, can we get above this cloud layer? And how high can we go? And the other option, do we completely fly around the mountains? It's a much longer flight, but it's doable. Alright, 6,000 feet, so that's why it's saying the incorrect fuel mixture. So I'm just going to pull back on that fuel mixture a little bit. Usually you'll be watching your RPM and try and stay within the green, but we have an awful long green area here between 2,000 and 2,700 RPM. So we're doing fairly decent. I can pull it back here a little bit, and it takes a bit to make that engine squeak and tell me that it's, you know, within means or whatever. Looks like we're nearing our cloud base. We're 6,500 feet, 6,600 feet. Getting closer to that cloud base. That gives me a little bit of hope. Just going to keep that nose really hanging. I mean, yes, we're basically high alpha. Just not literally, but that's what it feels like to me right now. The climb is just going so slow. But we're about to tap 7,000 feet. Being in those clouds is just as dangerous as flying beneath them. So, once again, like I said, what's the learning experience going to be as we get up into these clouds right above the mountains here? Hoping we have some good results as we continue our climb. But we're only doing 200 feet a minute. So I need to be climbing a lot steadier than that. But now we're at 45 nautical miles, 45 knots. So we're barely moving. We're barely moving right now. We're fighting wind. We're doing all kinds of stuff that I don't like. 7,600 right now. For sure, and we are sim rate, so that does mean that little alterations and little winds that wouldn't be a big deal are just gonna buffet us. Sim rate 4. Okay, really trying here, and really trying to watch my EFB, which I'm basically considering my GPS. So making sure I'm staying near our vector, or my VOR line here. It's not a VOR, it is a vector. And just begging this to play nice with us. And right now we are sitting right at 40 nautical mile, 40 knots. I don't know why I say 40 nautical miles. There's a difference, I think. And when you think you're really close to that cloud layer and you don't puncture, and you're sitting here like, aren't we there yet? But apparently we're not. Because not only do we need to climb into it, we got to get above it before we get to the mountains, preferably. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be stupid, and we're just going to try and get into them and get over the other side of the mountains while still being in them. That's the next test, in my opinion. Because I don't have enough experience to know. I'm happy to fail, because I'm also happy to learn. If this doesn't work, then we'll begin a procedure of just circling around like a glider, climbing up to a crazy high height, and then we'll go from there. But for now, I'm just using this 45 nautical miles as best I can while trimming out my RPM airspeed to get the most out of the mixture. Excuse me. Oh boy. Super tired today. Alright, I think we're ready to hit these clids. Yeah, ready to hit these clouds here in a moment. Like I said, super tired today. Not much I can do about it. Alright, well, we're definitely getting right where we want to be. With the little limited knowledge I have. We're flying straight though, we're not climbing anymore, which is annoying. So I'm still trying to get my nose up. But look at our airspeed. With everything going on, we're barely moving right now. And in a minute here, we're going to be completely IFR. If I'm lucky to get into this mountain. Whoa. Now I'm pushing it. It's amazing how we're climbing so minimally, but I'm assuming the headwind that we have is just sending us into this extremely low speed. I mean, impressive that we are not falling out of the sky at 40 knots right now or having a tip stall, you know, which is fully expected at this point, but no. I'm becoming a bit too used to this, which I don't like. I don't want to be used to this. This is not normal. This is not healthy for the airplane or for me. So, we are at 10,500 feet, but we are dropping. Trying to see if I can get back any additional airspeed at all. So far, that seems like a big fat no. We're climbing. Very challenging. Oh gosh. Definitely time for a nap. Alright, well, we are right on the cusp of where we were last time. Now, last time we were here, we were not this high up. I was sitting right near the bottom of the mountain, so will we get sucked in again? That's the first question I have. The second question is, can we skirt this by climbing over it? Looks like the cloud layer has changed over this area. We were fighting with that storm that actually seems to be breaking apart on my EFB. So we're going to hopefully be able to correct for this a little better, but once again, our airspeed's nothing. And if you look at our vertical speed indicator, we're not climbing at all. With the nose pointed up by 15 degrees, maybe 10 degrees, we're not getting anything out of this plane. I mean, yes, barely. Look at our altimeter. I mean, it says we're climbing, but by such a small margin if we're lucky. We are definitely much higher above the mountains than we were, though. So I think it is a mixture between... that's not me. That's the wind outside. That's the... Yeah, definitely dealing with some stuff here, but our airspeed seems to be speeding up at certain moments, too, so it's kind of a win-win. 11,005. I'm gonna tilt my nose down a little bit. Oh, sheesh. Okay. Getting thrown around really badly. So, still a very good chance of crashing. 60 knots. Wow, we are still getting smacked. But at this moment, I'm getting by. Keeps trying to direct me. So all the wind that just comes up the side of this mountain right now is just slicing into my plane, and it's trying to send me down the ridge, trying to send me down that way, down that ridge line, and we're trying to overcome it and get into the mountain range. Now, if I really needed to, and I'm wondering if I need to, we could follow that ridge line, use it to climb, and then there's going to be a certain point in time where we can get around this storm. I see a clearing up here. It would be really nice to hit this and see if we can at least get above the storm part of this portion of this cloud. And our speed has picked up significantly. I mean, we went from 45, now we're doing almost 60 knots. So significant, but not. Because this plane's capable of doing like 104, I think. So we're barely moving, but we're moving faster than we were. How about that? And frankly, we're still, if I can keep this plane going straight, we're still exactly on target to get to our airport. But I have to baby this girl. But I think we might be past the hard part. Oh, never mind. We just did a 180, and we're doing another 180. Okay. Now, like I said, we're right back on course. This is truthfully all hands on deck. Like, I looked at my phone for a second and that happened. And there's a ridge just below us that could suck us in. So we're not even in the thick of our storm yet. Like, there's ice coming up now too. If you look at our windshield, we got ice. So this could mean that we're about to have some major icing issues as we come along here. We got our carb heat fully open. All we can do is just chug along here as best we can. I would love to think that getting above this storm would help us, but honestly, I have a sneaking suspicion that's not how things are going to play out for us. Look at the ice on the top left of our screen there. This is going to get interesting. I have a sneaking suspicion we will end up either truly wrecked or parked on the side of the mountain just like we were a few minutes ago. And frankly, we couldn't even climb up fast enough to get up above these mountains, even in a sim rate of 4. So the only way to do it would not be to fly straight away, but to fly... I'm having another thought, bear with me a second. Would be to do circles until we climb to 12,000, 14,000 feet, and then try overtaking these mountains from 14,000 feet from a distance, versus naturally climbing on a single slope all the way up to this point, where yes, we are 10,700 feet, but yeah. Okay, we just got our first stall warning. Now we have rain, which will continue our icing. We are in the main part of the storm here in a half a second. I don't know where our mountain ridge is. We're obviously not very far off the mountain ridge ground. And I'm not exactly on my VOR either. Oh, isn't that cool? Look at that. So, the natural inclination of my plane is to go this way. And I'm kind of just letting it at this moment because I just need to kind of get us through this. And I have a sneaking suspicion that's not going to happen. So these are the weather conditions that you need to be concerned about. Now, what we're basically doing is we're flying parallel with the mountain, which is honestly a good thing. Not parallel. What's the opposite of parallel? So we're doing that. And if we can stay on this course, we're going to come out on the other side of the mountain here probably in about 10 minutes. And then once we're over there, then we can start worrying about landing, believe it or not. So there's a very good chance that we're going to make this work. Now, the sim rate's the only reason this is working. I think it would be much, much worse if we didn't have sim rate going for us right now. So, I mean, yes, it makes everything jumpy, but this would be such a slow and tedious process. I think it just would have truly sucked. We're coming out the other side of the storm, so right now as we get into this next cloud here, I think on the opposite side of these clouds here, we're going to see some nice clearing here in a minute. Oh, okay, we're on the opposite peak now, so now we're getting the wind from the opposite peak. Landing this plane in this valley is going to be interesting because Kalispell is in this valley, and we have to land in this area. So that lake right there is in alignment with our runway. So here's our clearance, like I was saying, which is fantastic. Hopefully our stuff is going to calm down a little bit. We can also worry about getting lower to the ground, which will hopefully take care of some of our icing. That would be my hope. We can also gain back some of our airspeed, which would be really lovely. I just hate how the plane keeps leaning to the right. So if I let go, you see how it's just trying to pull to the right consistently? Alright, as we get lower, we need to adjust our mixture back in. So we're going to do that a little bit. Alright, we're going to sim rate back to 3 now instead of 4. And turn towards our heading. Very good. Oh no, it happened again. So, sadly, that is the end of our flight. Like, we're just not gonna make it at all. Not only that, but there's not gonna be anywhere to land. Yep, it's dead in the water. DOA. So we're going to go ahead and sim rate back to 1 and just hope that I can land us somewhere safe, which, frankly, the runway is just somewhere over there, and I'm not going to be able to get this back no matter what I do. So here's a restart. And it's our carb that's giving us the issue. So I'm just going to have to land us over here. This stinks. We were so close. Yeah. Failed mission yet again. This plane just does not like the cold condition. And that just breaks me. Every single time. And I can't afford a nicer airplane at the moment. I think we need about $30,000 in a deposit to be able to even consider getting a rental 172 that would probably be able to handle some of these conditions a little better. We're flying a scooter. Well, we need something fancier, unfortunately. It's kind of how it feels. Alright, well, if I can get over these trees. There's some cars over here. Alright, here we go. Oh, it's just so sad. Alright, here we come. Oh gosh. Please fly. Please fly, please fly, please fly. Fly, 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 fly. Okay. Trying to restart it. What's the point? What's the point? Are we literally in the same place, or are we further out? We're further out now. So if we could just keep this up for a bit longer. Yeah, but they're not going to even accept this as a accomplished flight. Boo-hoo. So all I can do is just kind of fly out here a little bit further and then crash again, and fly out a bit further and crash again, and just keep this up. I think this is Columbus over here. Columbus, is that what it's called? I drive through here all the time. Several times a year, easily. Well, I don't know. This might be coming up from the Swan, so that's a different idea entirely. And frankly, I'm going to crash purposefully because I don't want it to consider this a successful flight. So I'm going to crash because I want it to jump us forward some more. And unfortunately, no matter what I do, it's not going to start the engine again. So we're just going to keep bunny hopping forward for now, I guess. This is so stupid. So I just get to enjoy this lovely glide slope every couple minutes, which we're losing at this time. I wish there was a way to fix this, but there isn't. Yeah, because our magnetos aren't even working at all now. Just gotta... Oh no! See? That's what I'm talking about. No doing now. When you were so close, right? Drat. And there's really... What a terrible flight. This really blows. And this plane kind of blows. It just keeps doing this, and I'm not sure how to correct for it. Like, I don't know what I'm looking for when that happens. I know I saw results saying that this happens a lot to people in Flight Simulator with the 152. I keep thinking it's because of the temperatures, because it's cold. We got ice. You know, we got ice on the wings. We got ice all over. But, yeah. The only other choices we have at this moment is instead, let me show you here, instead of flying through the storm. So what we have been doing is we've taken off and we've climbed. Let me check this because if my wife needs something, that's more important. Let me make sure she's doing okay. Okay, so instead, whenever we approach this ridge, right here on this mountain, right here, that's when we get hit with our first gust. Now, we were able to climb into these clouds a bit, and as we come out the other side, we were doing really good. Even got to the other side, and then we conked out right here. So the other option is we try to fly through here, or we try to fly around here, where the cloud coverage isn't as bad. Those are the two things we haven't done yet, and the other side of that is if we could fly, if it just adds so much extra to our flight time, if we went this way, we could maybe climb a bit higher, or we could do circles around here, climb to 12 to 15,000 feet, and then fly in and see what happens. So that's kind of where my head's at now. What a mess. What a mess. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm trying to move this off screen. My dogs are going crazy upstairs too. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna try it again. KGTF. Wow. Rough flight. Not liking this. KGPI, I think. KGPI. Rough flight.
Hello, pilot. Let's see what's on the books for you today.
Good morning, pilot. Ready for your cargo mission? The ground crew are loading the cargo. Stand by.
Okay, so this time we're gonna try and climb up the cloud base as much as possible and see if we have any better luck this time. I don't think we will. I think we're still dealing with carb issues. I think I'm still gonna get screwed.
Transporter, loading is complete. Let's go.
I think it's a damned if I do, damned if I don't
You're
scenario.
good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
And I haven't been contacting the tower for clearance. I've just been going for it. And usually I do. But admittedly, I'm at a moment now where I've crashed so many times where now I care more about just getting there in comparison to, now we're in science mode. We're not in real mode. Now I'm exploring what happens when we do different things because I've crashed so many times. I would love to get this right, though, because this is a $6,000 job in Flight Simulator. So we're going to keep trying this, frankly. I did disengage the brakes. Oh, but it would help if I was in my Flight Simulator to disengage said brakes. There we go. We got carbs in full. And let's get our trim set, because that always jumps on me. And we got 10 degree of flaps. There's what my problem was. I've already had 10 degree of flaps, so I was taking off with 20 degrees of flaps, which meant I was losing so much airspeed every time I did this. Go
Have
figure.
a safe journey, pilot.
Will do,
That's
thank
some
you.
load you have there.
Thank you. So we're gonna give this another shot, and I'm just gonna start this time. Oh dear. By crashing immediately. Wow, I am struggling just to even climb here. Look at that, 40 knots. Like I'm barely budging here. I haven't put up my flaps yet. All right, flaps are up. Let's see if I fall out of the sky here. Got a little bit of airspeed back, but not much. I mean, it's going to be very painful to try to climb to 15,000 feet like this. This is a very painful process. Yeah, I'm gonna deeply regret this, because then we're gonna speed rate our way over. And why are we hitting so many stall warnings here? Maybe we need to actually get out in the field a bit more before we attempt this. So let's head towards our location. I don't want those gates. We'll turn those off. Don't want to see those right now. Okay. Trimming out my ailerons. Good. what would be nice is if we could fly into the wind. And then as we fly into the wind, it would give us lift. Right? You'd think. Which is what hasn't. I mean, I don't know which direction the wind is coming from. Where's... I need more stats. I need more information. So let me see what we got here. Pilot book, flight planner. Okay. So right now we need to be at a heading of west. I mean, 280 degrees, I believe. We're heading towards those mountains way off in the distance. We are getting a little bit more climb rate here. Not much. So I would love... My goal would be, unfortunately, because the first two flights have done such a miserable job, now that we're on a flat plane, if I can get enough speed... Trying to see if I can get any more out of my mixture. Right now we're at 4,000 feet, so I can see why it would tell me that my mixture is wrong. Oh, this is so painful. It's going to take forever to get to 12,000 feet this way. And I'm assuming 12,000 feet is what I'm looking for. I mean, whatever our cloud layer is. So let's look at weather. And I need to learn more about where I can find some of these details. Like, this is real-world weather, so technically I can probably find some of that on some real apps. Let's see, though. Flight planner... KGPI, that's KGPI though, that's not. Right now we're at KGTF. Let's right click on this and see if it'll let me do it. More info. So right now our weather is a wind which is 8 knots from 220 degrees. So if I head towards 220 degrees right now, could I climb faster? I mean, I'll be fighting the wind, but would that provide some of the lift I need? So right here is 220 degrees. Right here. We need to be going 280 degrees, but it's not off by a lot if we can use it to our advantage. Visibility 8 nautical miles. Temperature 30.2, which is why we have the carbs open. Cessna should be able to fly without power 10 nautical miles, 10,000 feet. You need oxygen. So talk to me here, Gordon. What are we talking about? So here's my problem. I'm dealing with some pretty crazy storms as we get over the mountains. So 10,000 feet. I need oxygen. It's very interesting that hasn't taken into account. Like, we haven't... I wonder if they have that kind of simulation where the pilot passes out because the plane isn't, properly compressed or whatever the proper term is for that. You're making a good point. As I've been flying over these mountains, I'm flying over these storms, and then I tip stall and just crash. Usually I think it's because of a gust or where you're getting sucked into something, and then every time my plane starts to ice, I think my carb heat isn't overtaking the ice, and somehow we just come falling out. No, we don't fall out of the sky. My engine just shuts down. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? So right now what I'm trying to do, and I'm just I'm not having fun, okay? I'm anxiously frustrated, and I'm just trying to figure it out, and it's a good learning experience. I mean, if I can't get this right, I'm learning from all this, and I'm happy about it, So at this moment, what I'm trying to do, we have flown straight to the mountains, and then just tried flying over them underneath the cloud layer. That ended up parking us on the side of the mountain, which was quite comical. The second time, we tried climbing above the cloud layer while still going straight to. I could not climb fast enough. Did get to the other side successfully. We did. But what ended up happening is, as we got to the other side, carbs froze, we fell. At least I think it's carbs. Now this time, I'm curious if we can try to get up to above the mountains which the mountains sit somewhere around 10,000 nautical miles. And then if we can get to them, at first climb 12,000 feet, and then fly to, hopefully the temperatures wouldn't change very much. Probably a very unrealistic expectancy, but that's where my head's at. Like I said, testing even though I know it's wrong, kind of a thought process. And so that's the theory that I have right now, is all of this. You know what? We're going to sim up here, because it's going to take me forever to get up there, and we can use this to our advantage. So I'm doing that. I know I'm stalling, but technically I'm not stalling, so don't judge me. Technically I'm still climbing successfully. Alright, we're gonna reset our mixture. Now I'm falling. Try mixture thinning out the fuel before. Whoa, hello. Hello. Maybe more holes power. Yeah, so when you get to about, in Montana, when you get to 6,000 to 7,000 feet, you gotta pull back your mixture, which is what we've done. So now we're definitely in our cloud base. Wow, okay, that is starting to get really tipsy. Like, it's making my brain dizzy. Okay, pull back all this throttle mixture a bit more. Once again, it's amazing, though, that no matter what I do, I'll get 40 to 60 knots as we climb, and that's about it. And yeah, this plane is a slow little thing. Nose down, horsepower, drag, autocorrect. Yeah, exactly. Nose down, horsepower, dang, autocorrect. Yeah, I gotcha. We're maxed out, though. I mean, like, full throttle. No prop. There's no prop mix on this because it's a 152. Good news is, look at that. We're almost at 8,000 feet right now. So we are making progress, just very, very slowly. Yep, been in a stall for a while. Yep, now we are absolutely in a stall. Come on. Come on. I need to become a glider and find lift underneath these clouds. Correct fuel mixture. Okay, nope, that's definitely not it. So we're gonna increase this time. Oh gosh, isn't that spooky? Isn't that spooky? Oh gosh, that is so spooky. We are sort of climbing still, though. Oh gosh. Last night's flight was really awesome that I did. One of my I think I've like done 2 or 3 IFR flights so far that were successful. Last night's was one of them. I was very pleased with the outcome. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh my word. I am spooked out of my brains right now. Okay, fine. We'll turn the other way. No? Make up your mind, little plane. There we go. Let's do it that way. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Where are we? Where are we? I don't even know where we are. Something's severely wrong. We time traveled. we portaled. So let's do this. Let's bring this back to real time. Okay. Now let me check my map. Yeah, well, we're actually not miserable. We're not miserable. So if I point my plane in the direction that I need to be going, I need to be going west, I thought. So, wow, why is our compass off? Because this is the direction, and I thought it was west. Something's wrong with our compass. Not our top compass. The bottom compass is screwed up. Top compass is reasonable. Interesting. That's a first. The sim rate definitely screwed us up. Okay, so updrafts and downdrafts is huge. Mountain flying. Yep, exactly, and that is exactly what's doing. It's pulling me in on those mountain drafts. It's sucking me into the mountain, and I end up getting parked on the side of the hill. Like right there. Did you see my? Look at right now. I have like 40 knots. Right, so there's nothing happening here. Hang on, let me see if I need to mix this out again. I think that's the best we're going to get at this moment. 40 knots. That's all I have for me right now. All right, we're going to sim rate, and we're going to head towards our destination. Right now, we are way above. Fly toward the mountain when that happens. Okay, 10-4. Fly toward the mountain when that happens. All right, sim rate up. Here we go. Oh gosh, we're glitching out so bad because of those clouds. Oh gosh, oh gosh. That's a very unhappy airplane. Okay. All right, there's Tribble on our sim rate. So let's just try that for now, because I'm going to keep on trying to climb here if I'm lucky. We're 45, 50 knots. Oh man, this is just the worst. The worst! Hello, grandson. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Tell grandson, do what I say, not what I do. Because this is bad. 11 years old? That's awesome. The perfect age for you as a granddad. You get to spoil him rotten. You know what? That's your legacy right there, my friend. That's a wonderful legacy to have. God has my wife and I on a different trajectory of our lives, but I'll tell you what, that's something to take pride in, something to hang your hat on, for sure. You can literally see the storm front right here next to me, out my right window. Crazy. And we need to go this way, way over there, but I need to get above the clouds. So we're going to keep doing this. Hopefully going this way is going to get us away from that mountain a little bit, and hopefully we won't be dealing with that as much. Carb still completely open. I don't see any ice on the windows, which is a good sign. So if I can just keep climbing for now, we might have a chance. Okay, we're going true west right now, so if I can adjust this so it's not stupid. Go ahead and get pointing towards west, right about here. We're gonna come on, close enough. Sort of close enough. Okay. And then I think the airport that we're trying to go to is 113.2. So we've got 113. Come on. Nope. 117, 113.2. There we go, 113.2. Let's swap. There we go. We got nav. Very nice. Flying isn't nice at all. It's the worst ever, but that's partially the sim rate's fault. Partially my fault for deciding to fly sim rate, but we're doing it. All right, we're at 11,000 feet. This is the best I've done so far, at least in altitude before we get to our location. And we're nowhere near the mountains that we need to be at. So there's lots of potential that this is actually going to work this time. If I can hold my breath, because obviously we need oxygen. And that's not simulated, right? We'll find that out the hard way. I assume what's going to happen is we're going to get up, engine's going to conk out again somewhere because of the ice or something similar. Right now it's 33.8 degrees in KGTF, which is the airport that we're flying by right now. Like literally right now, I see ice on that bottom left window pane. Oh man. Oh man. All right, just bear with me, you little kid. Come on. Come on. You can do this. I assume you can. Definitely in the clouds, though. I'm very tempted to take a couple spins back around. Yeah, that ice is forming. Yep, it's getting worse. Oh, man. I got the full carb heat going on here. Now, do I have the pilot heat on? We'll turn that pilot heat on. Pilot heat. Position on. Taxi lights on. Kind of just want to turn everything on so it heats up like everything in the plane. Cabin air, pull, I don't know. Let's set it to 100 just for giggles. I think that's like normal air conditioner kind of stuff, but at this point I'm willing to try anything. Alright, we're still stalling. Alright, I'm gonna get my nose down. It's like I'm capping out at 11,000 feet. That ice is forming. This is not gonna work. I was really getting my hopes up that we could make this work. But the other thing is, I'm looking at where I am, and my airport that I took off at is like right next to me. So all those circles is hurting me out pretty bad. My other grandson came up, needs a haircut, and he's a big gamer on Elden Ring. Also, he's 17. Very cool. I haven't tried any of the RPGs. I'm just a flight guy. If I had my choice, I'd be in an airplane and learning how to fly for real, you know? But when it comes to video games, I play video games, and I play, like, I mean, go check out the channel. There's tons of great games that I've played, but it's not because I'm a gamer. It's because it's not even my natural instinct. My natural instinct is to go and paint. My natural instinct is to paint and draw and be a creative and make music, and that's why I have all the different YouTube channels I have. And then, when I get the wild hair, or as someone with ADHD, as I get the hyper focus, like I just got this, you know, control unit here. So it's my natural instinct to want to play with it. So Flight Simulator is the outlet for the use of that, you know. And so gaming is not the central part of me in that sense. If that makes any sense. I'm sure it makes some sense, but... Alright, I am doing 60 knots and it still says I'm stalling. 80 knots and it still says I'm stalling. My plane is falling apart. No idea what's going on right now. And I'm not gonna lie, that's very obnoxious. But also, our ice is calming down. But that's because we're a little lower than we were. We're not over speed. None of it. Like, there's no reason for any of this. And certainly no reason for that unless there's a glitch in the Matrix, which is highly likely. What's this? Hot air entry. Full max. Cabin airflow. Let's do that one too. Okay. That sound is going to be so bad. Alright, so going to build a flight simulator with motion setup. The tower I want is 5,000, which is crazy due to RAM prices. Amen. It's expensive stuff right now. Well, good luck with that. I would love to do that. I think it would be cool to build like a full rig. But that's one of those things where, okay, can you build up the channel enough to get some sponsorships, you know? But yeah, it's not exactly the most realistic. Oh gosh. I might have just messed this up terribly. We're going to find out here in a second. Once my computer catches up with me. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Saved. I saved it. I saved it. I know I'm having one of our guys buy a computer here, and it's a Mac. I like PC for gaming. I like Mac for video work and for audio work and for the professional stuff. And we're looking at $2,500 for that laptop. And I mean RAM sticks. It's amazing. Everyone's running towards AI. So that means that there's going to have to be companies that come up from underneath and go, okay, listen, we're going to create the chips specifically for RAM. I know you guys want it for AI, but here's the chip specifically for RAM, and let's capitalize on the fact that everyone else is running away from it. I think, but there's like only one or two companies that actually make the RAM chips, and that's where the brunt is, if I'm understanding all that stuff correctly. Okay, I am not having any success, and there's definitely something wrong with my airplane right now. So, at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to try two different things. One, there is a location where the storm is not as bad in the mountains. Or, two, I go around the mountains entirely. Which I don't know if I have enough gas to even do that. And according to my plane, I do not. Actually, I'm almost out of gas. That's weird. That's very odd. That shouldn't be that way. And I don't think I can, like, change that in the simulation up here. So, we might be in... oh, maybe that's what it's beeping for. Maybe it's telling me I'm out of gas. Huh, that's a funny idea. I wonder if I can tell the system to... like, give me some more assistances. Let's see. Sound language, online camera, flight model, modern realistic. No, I don't think I have a way to cheat the system. So I think we're going to run out of gas, and we're going to fall to our death. Let's see, I have a Twitch account, which is NFG Gaming, not for gaming. I got partnered due to playing pubs and was teamed with a huge streamer that made me partner. Oh, that's cool. Congrats. That's cool. I personally stay away from Twitch myself. I don't much care for their content that they openly show for younger people. And so, but, I mean, Twitch is a cool platform. If they had switched up like some of their rules and regs, then I would consider going over there. And I was over there at one time, but I left. But yeah, being sponsored over there is pretty sweet. That would be the way to do it. Okay, so I think it's warning me that we're out of gas, and that's why we're getting the big beep beeps. So that's probably what's going to happen. And I don't have any way to refill the gas tanks from up here, even though we're free flying. So if we're free flying, don't you think that there would be a way to do it if you're free flying? Hang on. Fuel. Quick fill. Okay. Let's put in a little bit so it's not going to save config. Resume. There we go. Now we got some gas. Now, I still don't know why it's beeping at us, but we're going to go for it. Advertise on all your social media when you go live. I've done that in the past, and frankly, I don't want people in my local community to know that I'm playing these games and things. And there's a reason why. So I have a couple projects that I've worked on earlier this morning, and I don't want people thinking I'm not working on their projects. I did them earlier in the morning, and so my afternoon is free right now until I pick up my wife from work. But I don't want to be known as the gamer in my community. Does that make sense? And most of my social media platforms reach out to my local community. You're not the hero in your community, that's for sure. So I'd much rather reach out to strangers across the globe and find outside resources. Okay, well, it's still beeping at me. That's still frustrating. But I have fuel, so that's not going to be the reason why this all hits the fan. Okay? So we're good there. We're good there. We are also almost at 12,000 feet, which is majestic. So if I can get above this cloud coverage here, we'll be really good. We might actually be able to beat this thing. Awesome, I'm excited about those. Wifey says my new glasses have shipped. Yippee! I don't know what's giving the alarm. I thought it was because I was out of gas. And usually it's because you're stalling. So I don't know what it is. I'm wondering if there's a way to trigger it off, because it's obnoxious beyond all means here. Let's see if there's anything. It'd be nice if there was like a reset. I don't see any kind of reset. Oh, oxygen. That'd be cool. Oh, wait, there it went. It's gone. What? I didn't do... I flipped a couple switches up here. Oxygen going to motor. Well, our oil pressures are good. Oil temperatures are good. Our fuel is good. And now, admittedly, I've never checked these gauges over here, because they're on the other side of the plane, so I don't think about them. What is that gauge? What's this thing in my airplane that I own? That I've been flying now for however long it's been? Let's see if I can get over there. Okay, so what is this gauge? What is this gauge? Amperes. Oh, that's battery. No wonder I don't care about that one. Okay, so we're not quite over the mountains, and technically I'm going to fly this way, which is just going to take even longer, but it's going to take me around the bottom of the mountain, the area that we call the Swan in Montana, and we're going to circle around and come up the opposite ridge once we go this way. So hopefully that'll make this flight a little easier, because right now it's I mean, and yes, some of it is the sim rate that I'm fighting with here, but oh gosh, oh wow, I'm almost ready just to crash and call it quits, because this is getting pretty nasty. But we're also at we're falling, aren't we? We're falling, aren't we falling? Yeah, we're totally falling, and climbing, and falling, and climbing, and yeah, we're just gonna die most likely. Once again, or the engine's going to conk out, because what do you do? Alright, so this is the direction I want to go. Somewhere north. And then we got to turn to go west. And I don't even know if that gauge is working anymore. It doesn't look like it is. I think it's off kilter again. So now we need to be going south. And then we turn to go west. Oh, my land. Alright, I need to zoom out here. Oh, sheesh. I mean, this is just throwing my plane around so miserably. This is such a stupid situation and is nowhere near my final outcome. Level out, straight line, try that. I'm leveling out. It's throwing my plane around this bad. Oh. Oh my word. Oh my word. Up, and I'm seeing ice forming again. Oh my word. Oh, come on. We are doing 80 knots. It's because we're going down. Okay, now technically we're at the bottom of this mountain here. So I think if we can get over that range here, that mountain peak range now, once we're on the other side of that, then we can start climbing back up. Which I guess that would be going... I'm so directionally impaired. I don't know. And my compass is all screwed up. My top compass is fine as far as I know. So it says I'm going south. So if I'm going south, in a second here we need to go west. But I need to get over this mountain ridge first and into that valley. And we got ice forming yet again. I'm flying into the mountain. I am. Because there it is right there. We're flying into it. We're bouncing into it. Oh, like a brick. Doing 100 knots too. I'm not 190. Which is pretty good for this little bird. Okay. Woo! Now, we're still not out of this. I mean, like, even once I get into this valley, which was my hope, then we're going to turn this way. And boy, do we have a long trip ahead of us. So I'm just going to sim rate even more here. Because I just... Yeah. About... Oh, nice and smooth now for 20 seconds. Okay, so... I have basically completely gone the wrong direction. Now we're going to fly through this valley to get up to Kalispell. More into the mountain, you're getting turbulence. It should even out. Well, there we go. Let's see. We're calm right now, and we're moving steadily. Now, there's that storm up there that I'm trying to stay away from, so we're going to probably try to have to fly over this ridge on my left here. Oh boy, such a long trip. It's not worth the $6,000 that they're giving me. It's impressive to me. I mean, the thing I do love is real world results give you real world consequences. So yes, I can take any flight in Flight Simulator that I want, but let's be real and take a look at what we're actually dealing with in real-world weather. What's going on outside my window right now is what is affecting me in this game, and that, to me, is the coolest part about this. I love it and I hate it, because I want to get this done, but the reality is, it's cool. I mean, the punishment of, okay, deciding to fly on a day like today when the weather is miserable, you know, is cool. Now, the reality is, yes, I can change it so it's nice weather. And I probably will one of these days, because I just told someone I didn't want to do any sync rating, and I wanted the real world experience of flying Flight Simulator. Well, obviously I'm using sim rate now. And same thing's going to hold true, where I'm going to be like, oh, I'm getting sick and tired of all this weather and fighting. I just want to fly and make money. I think it'll be more fun. I think it'll be more fun. Love live weather on Sims. I agree with you 100%, Gordon. I mean, that is my thought entirely. I love the real world weather. I love the real world airlines. I love, you know, all that stuff that comes with it. Look at that, flying into the mountain. There you go. See, following Gordon's advice, but we are being sucked down. Come on. Don't do that. Okay. We are around the outskirts here. Now I just need to pray that my plane gets me. I'm about halfway to my destination in this sim rate, dealing with this level of stress. It's wonderful. This really sucks. Anyway, real world ramifications, that's for sure. How's our fuel doing? I need to put a bit more in, not quite yet. I'm trying to keep my fuel low now that I know how to add fuel with my EFB. So I'm trying to keep it low because I want to make sure the weight doesn't drag my plane down. That's my theory at this point. Oh, chilala. Okay. Whoa. Unfortunately, now we have an even worse problem. So let's do this. I'm going to slow my sim rate down until it's normal. Okay, so now we're flying at normal speed. Let me bring my EFB into Flight Simulator so you can see what I'm dealing with here, because this is interesting. So, we were flying along this ridge, right? And this storm was sitting on top of this ridge. Now, unfortunately, the storm is moving and is now moving over my landing airport. So, now I'm not dealing with the issue because I'm coming... Originally, we flew over, came up, flew over the ridge, we had a wreck there, came up, overtook, went wide, came back this way. Now we're going via the Swan, which means we came down, we went underneath, and now we're coming up the other side of the mountains. So this time, now we're going to have to land in this storm. So I need to start checking my navigational stuff with my systems here, because we got some more coming up here. So we're going to come in runway 2. More info on runways on runway 2. Frequencies are, let me see Sky Vector here. Let's do this and Sky Vector. So Sky Vector says, hang on here as I get things moved around and mess myself up royally. Okay. What happened to my plane? Oh, no, I'm still going the right direction. Okay. So Sky Vector says that I need 113.2 for my ILS. And we're going to come in runway 3. So let me move this off screen here. So look at that. That is encircled and will be encircled more in this storm as we do this. Let me move this off screen. So ILS 113.2, and we're coming in runway 03 when we do. So let's turn our CDI to match 03. There's 03 right there, so we can figure that out. Okay. Now, Gordon, you seem pretty knowledgeable. If you have knowledge of this, I would appreciate your wisdom. Here's the question I have for you, sir. If you don't have an answer, that's okay. So, I'm using nav 1 for my approach. Okay, IFR landing. I would love to use nav 2 to get me to the airport. Now, yes, I know we simply follow our compass to get there, but my curiosity is, I was taught in the past, I don't know if this is true because it's been years, you want to set your CDI, your nav 1, and then you want to set the direction of the runway that you're landing at, and then that's going to help you line up, as far as I thought. So my theory was, if I wanted to set nav 2 to take me to the airport and not necessarily get me on the landing spot, but get me to the airport, I figured I could probably do 113.2 again, like this, switch my nav so it turns on, there it is, and technically, two thoughts. One, I could point myself at the airport and this would line up as if I was going towards the airport. Or, if I knew where my airport was and I knew I'm coming in, fuel mixture from Copilot. Let's see, what's our height? Okay, yeah. So technically we should be almost full mixture right here. So, because we're coming down, so we should be at full mixture here in a little. So anyway, I have both of these set. I'm curious if the OBS or the CDI pointing the heading bug, if that's how to get it to line up or not with the airport in general. Like, if I know I point my nose towards the airport, I have two thoughts coming into my head right now. Still needing co-pilot adjustments here. So let's try pulling that mixture out, and we're just going to drop our RPMs down a little bit. Right about there. Hopefully that'll help us with our fuel mix. We're right down doing 90 knots, so we're doing really good. So technically, if I was going straight towards this, my curiosity is, what if I did this? And I lined this up as if I'm going to... Am I going towards it? Am I directly pointed at it? I need to verify first. Yeah, I'm actually pointed directly at it. So if I track off from this, will it track off or will it stay exactly where it is? I'm not sure. I'm figuring things out here. There we go. Okay, so we got this whole storm along our right edge here. Still lean it out. Fine, okay. Go. Never figured out the IFR rating. Gotcha. That's all right. I'm someone who, I'm a nerd, so I like learning all of this stuff. So I'm doing top level brainiac, you know, trying to solve this thing kind of mode right now. Flying straight without me having to do much. That's nice. Yeah, so I think we're coming down, so I think we need to add more to our mix. But look at our RPM, because we're way up there right now. So let's pull my throttle back a little. There we go. And then do I full mix in? Let's try full mix in. And pull back here, because we are 6,000 feet? I don't know. I am going to, while I'm at it, add a little more gas to this mix here. I hate to do it that way, but yeah. Okay, load aircraft. There we go, now we got half tank. Hate to do it that way, but yeah. Alright, so there's our storm ridge all along here. This cloud technically is part of it, so... And right now, this says that we're heading to the airport, and we're basically lined up with it, which doesn't make any sense, because if I track off, it will stay lined up. Will it? I don't know. I think that's Glacier. Yeah, we're in Glacier. That's cool. That's very cool. Huh. Okay, sim rate up so we can get there quicker. Since we're flying nice and smooth right now, let me get my EFD pulled back up so I can see what weather we're dealing with. Because unfortunately we do have a long way to go up this mountain ridge. I'm gonna try to gain a little bit of altitude because obviously we have a lot working for us right now. 80 knots, 75 knots. I love life where we can learn whatever we want to learn and learn it however we want to learn it, whether that's YouTube videos, whether that's advice from others, however that is. Life has given us a lot of cards to figure out what we like and dislike. And that is what, in my opinion, makes all of this new technology so interesting. You can learn whatever you want on your own time, and you will be rewarded for the effort of learning. And if you fail, dude, in this day and age, you're not going to get hurt for failing. The only person you're hurting is yourself these days. I mean, no, you can hurt others too, but my point being, it's a struggle, but it's not unreal. It's not unbearable. So, one day I'll learn all this stuff a little better and just continue this crazy trend of mine. I'm just enjoying life and figuring things out. I also like the idea that life starts when you're 40. I like that a lot. Everything up to that is just the learning experience. I'm like, great, I got 2 more years to figure stuff out. And I'm 39 this year. 39. So, I'm okay with that. Boy, we're bouncing around. I'm coming up this ridge so slowly. Such a long flight. I'm cheating in every way to make this happen. I'm only going to get 10 experience points from it, which I find is so stupid. Alright, we're going full... Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Chill out. Thank you. Okay. Alright, so here's this storm edge that we got to watch out for. Okay, and then I think we need to go over this mountain ridge here to see the lake. It's not beneath us, is it? No, it's not beneath us. So we got to go over one ridge, unfortunately. So climbing up over this ridge is going to be important. So let's slow down 1 feet. Let's see if I can get our mixture pulled back here a little. Full throttle. Pull our mixture back. We're going to have a problem here. Just keep climbing, little girl. Come on. I know you think your mixture's wrong. Oh, interesting. It says that my... No, it's not. Ugh. Alright, if I can just get over that ridge, we should be good. Ah, fighting. Yep, I think I see the lake over there. Oh, that'd be great. Yep, that's the lake, all right. Okay, we have a very strong possibility that this is going to work. As long as our plane doesn't conk out again on us. Okay, we're over. At least I think we're over. Okay. I'm gonna try and save my plane speed a little bit here. We're gonna bring our sim rate back a little. And frankly, I don't mind being down lower. So we're going to tilt our nose forward. We'll get our airspeed back as we head down. Since we're over top this mountain, literally cannot get my nose down enough now. So we're just getting pushed up by the back end of this storm now. And we are 7,000 So, okay, right about there. Let's go 2200, 2300. Since we're not using much, we're not using nearly as much throttle right now, we're just kind of slowly falling off the backside of this mountain. Okay, we're back to scratch. As long as our plane doesn't have a blooper this time, we have a much better chance of getting this right. Okay. A little bit more throttle. What a crazy journey. Oh my gosh. Okay. Throttle back. Alright. I really hope that this one's going to work for us. And I'm trying to give my engine a bit of a break on the other side as much as possible right now. Hopefully we'll have a chance to get this right. Now, that storm, where we got to land, as far as I can tell, is a bit beyond this lake over here. I might actually see some markers over there. So there's a distinct possibility. There's a distinct possibility that we got some mess coming our way that we're going to deal with here in a minute. Definitely a good mission to practice on the mountains. Like I said, I love the learning experience from this. It's incredible to be able to think that we can learn real world situations, real world dynamics, real world conditions from a computer. I mean, I think about like Disney World. And they got these robots that walk around now. I haven't seen them personally, but they're like all over on the internet these days. And they talk about how they trained them to walk, but not in real life. They trained them to walk in an AI simulation. And I totally get it. And I actually totally support it. I don't like AI, but in that sense, for that purpose, that makes perfect sense to me. That makes perfect sense to me. Go let a computer simulate 1,000,000 steps and learn from what it's like to do those 1,000,000 steps, and that's going to make things work smoother. I think that's ingenious. I think there's a lot of benefits on that kind of stuff. AI is incredible, but generative AI, that's where my brain goes, you know, and it begins to hate things. Oh, we're doing much better now. Super pleased. You're losing altitude. Oh yeah, on purpose. Yep, on purpose. I want to lose altitude because I'm concerned about the storm up ahead, and I also know that I'm going to be landing here in the next, hopefully, 30 minutes. So I'm just hanging out nice and low at the moment because I assume we're going to have quite a mess once we yeah, we're getting close. Somewhere in that pack of nasty is where we're supposed to be landing. Sim rate. Alright, now we're doing normal true speed here, so we've turned off the sim rate. Now we're just doing the real deal. I still feel like we're a little ways out from our final, but it is tucked somewhere in this storm. Fuel looks okay. It should be enough to get us there. Oh boy. Ugh, what a workout. What a brain out. Oh boy. Alright, well, I'm going to do sim rate 2. Because I feel like that's still pretty manageable. And we got a good deal still before we actually find our runway. We're gonna hit this storm too, unfortunately. I could ride its skirt, and literally there's going to be an opening where our runway is, but we're not quite there just yet. Technically, we might be able to see the runway by now. Technically, it's still a pretty decent ways off. There's the rain. We just had a re-render. Sim rate 3. I don't know about you, but I am so ready to be done with this flight. Because this flight has been 3 flights of the same flight. This was supposed to be a 40-minute flight, not a 2-hour and 3-minute flight so far. Ridiculous. Very sad, very sad. Alright. Oh, look at that. Our navigator just let us know that we're in the beacon, so let's go ahead and get ready for that VOR. So I'm going to go ahead and turn into this VOR and into this storm, and hopefully we can hit this VOR and get ready for landing. So let's see if we are... Yep, we're in normal speed now. So we're going to hopefully hit this here shortly. Because we passed it by accident, but I think we'll correct for that here in a second. Sim 2. Alright, I'm going to go parallel with the runway. No. Whatever's opposite of parallel. Sorry, my ADHD brain is disconnecting. It's interesting to choose to fly into a storm. Whoa, it changed. Now it says from. Interesting. Oh, is that our runway? That's the airport. That's the airport. Okay, and runway 3, so I think we need to be this way still. Okay. Sim rate 2. Oh, I lied. That's real time. Okay. And I'm hoping that we're going to pass over the VOR here in a second. If not, then I'm just going to land anyway. Oh. Alright. Something's weird. I have not set something up properly, or I'm seeing the wrong runway. I am seeing the wrong runway. I would like to land at runway 3. No, that's the right runway. I don't care. I am happy to be nearly done. I'm happy my plane didn't conk out and lose its carbs again. So, we're flying real time? Yes, we are. Okay. We're doing this. Slowing down. Nose is up to get my airspeed down. Here we go. Yes, we're climbing at 1,000 feet a minute, but that's okay. That's going to correct here in a second. Here we go. I think we can still land safely, even though we're up pretty dang high. Flaps at 10 degrees. We're doing it a little too early, but it's going to be fine. Flaps at 20 degrees. Still doing it far too early. I say it again, it's going to be fine. Because I don't know what I'm doing. One thing I have learned is I don't like full flaps. Take a look at my VOR on the bottom. That's lining up with runway 3. Interesting. I wonder why that's the case. Why isn't the top one doing it? Oh, now I'm thoroughly confused. Because look at that. I'm lined up with this runway, and the nav for nav 2 is lined up perfectly. That's weird. Even though I had it set for my... I don't know. Interesting. All right, full... We're coming in way too fast. This is going to be a difficult landing. And I didn't call in radio, so that's the other side of this. So this is a nasty breaking all the rules kind of flight. I just hope I get 6,000 bucks out of it. Oh my gosh, we're coming in so fast. That's no good. I need to be smart about this and like and go back around. Oh gosh. Nope, I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. There we are. There we are. Still way too fast though. Okay. Gentle now. Come on, little girl. Gentle.
You greased that landing. Ace.
Dang. Okay.
Taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
Like I said, we're breaking all the rules, so we're not even going to go to parking, in my opinion. I think what we'll do is we'll just pull off the side of the runway and shut it down. And see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but... Is there no... Oh, it looks like we're going to have to turn around and go back. Looks like there isn't a... Nope, no taxiway here. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's go full mix. I am still surprised how that ended up working out. Why did my lower line up, even though it says 319 degrees, and my upper did not, which was set to 30, which is exactly what that had. But that one lined up with the IFR. Huh. Very interesting. Well, we didn't need it. We had VFR flight rules, but still, I like learning that stuff. So that is interesting. Got some learning to do. They both work the same way. Nav 1 and Nav 2 both work the same way. They're a redundant unit, if I remember correctly. So it shouldn't be that they do different things. One could be for instrument rating. They're both for instrument rating. So VFR is visual flight rules. IFR is instrument flight rules. And you use the ILS transmissions or frequencies to trigger your IFR flight rules. So, or your flight ratings, or your stuff like that. Let's cut this off and see if this works.
Transporter. Cargo unloading in progress.
Oh.
Stand by, pilot.
Whew, what an experience. Nice thing is we're in a new airport, and I have no intention of flying back to Great Falls. I would actually like to fly further away now. So, any jobs that I take from here, which I'm going to take a break from this, because this was way longer than I wanted to do. Any jobs that I take from here will go. So let's open up this and pull this on. So we got destination send 6. Oh, KSZT.
Transporter. Another cargo mission completed. Thanks, and see you soon.
Where's this going to? So this is going to
Let's go.
another big. It's not big. Sandpoint. How many miles? 92 miles. So it's not that far away. But yeah, I want to fly away from my home airport and just kind of, you know, visit more, experience more. But we got $32,000. One of the other goals I have is that we're going to get ourselves a 172. Here at KGPI, they got a couple planes for sale. None of them are in our range. Well, actually, this one is. So it's a 172 SP G1000. That's what I really want. I like that it can do passengers, but rental is $40,000 for the deposit, and then we got to pay $259 a flight hour. So we will be looking at getting another plane, but for now we just have my one plane. So that's going to do it for right now, guys. I got to go and take a breather. I got to catch my breath, and apparently we have some deliveries coming in, and my dogs are barking like crazy, so I got to go and see what's going on upstairs. But I will look forward to talking with you guys again soon. That was a 2-hour-long live stream. That was all on one flight, which was ridiculous, so if you want to go back and see the comedy of the crashes and things like that, you can rewind back and see them. So, Gordon, thanks for hanging out. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And, of course, I might come back on and do some more live streaming later on today. We'll see today's date day with my wife and I, so other plans may come into play. But, yes, I'm always in the know and always interested in hopping on and doing something online. We have another game that I want to play soon as well. I really enjoy playing Stardew Valley. That one's a fun one as well. And I also have done some hunting, what's it called? Call of the Wild. It's a hunting simulator. Very fun game. So there's a bunch of little games that I play on here when I get a chance. So, all right, God bless you guys. We'll see you next time, and you all be good. Bye.